YouTubers, and welcome back to Hilltop Farm, Dorset. Now today, at the moment, I'm not at the farm, but we will be later on. We're going to be going up there. We're going to be camping the night, but this morning we got a poultry auction, so we did contemplate on putting some birds in the auction, the ducklings, and funny enough, the quail, but we've got people going to buy some ducklings either this afternoon or tomorrow, and I've still got to put some cool ducks down on the pond, which is just over there. So we thought, well, we'll get that sorted, and then what we're left with, we'll see what we're left with, and then we'll put them in the auction. Unfortunately, the quail that we were going to put in, a rat had them. The last two quail, I put double mesh around the outside of the run, and about a foot away from the run along the ground, and a rat had dug in underneath the mesh, and all there is feathers, no sign of any quail. So there's obviously still rats in my compound, which tonight we're going to be going out there camping, so I'm going to be sat there with the air rifle as well and see if I can score any more. Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, we're going to go to the auction. We've already got the program. There's about 600 lots there at the moment. They've opened it up to waterfowl as well as poultry, because obviously the bird flu situation, and now that's all been eased. So there's a lot of lots there today. There is obviously, we want to sort of like see what prices the birds are going for, and there is some different geese on there that I'd like to have a look, and there's also a trio of white pheasants that I'm very interested in. So anyway, we'll go to the auction. I'm not sure on whether you're allowed to video in the auction, but you know, I will sort of like video what I might be interested in, maybe. And anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go off now. The auction starts at 9:30. We are running a little bit late, but we're going to go off and then have a quick view, and then have a recap and see where we go from there. So I'll see you guys later. They're pretty. Right, I've just come out of the auction, and the catalogue that we printed off online, we should have just thrown straight into the bin because everything had changed, and so we bought a catalogue at the auction, and unfortunately there were no white pheasants in the auction, which is one of the main reasons why one of the lots that I really want to get. So anyway, so what we have managed to purchase, our first lot that we managed to get was 30 mixed eggs. Now that includes pheasant, light Sussex and Wyandotte. We're hoping, obviously, with the pheasants, that'd be nice, and certainly the light Sussex, obviously, give us some more egg layers, and if there's a cockerel, white Sussex cockerel in there, we can then start thinking about producing our own light Sussex. There was a lot for 6 white pheasant eggs. Now, buying eggs is obviously a bit of a gamble, but that's why you get them ever so cheap. So I managed to get 6 white pheasant eggs. So when we get back home today and we go up to the farm, we're staying there the night. So what we'll do is, as soon as we get there, we'll set 2 of the incubators up, stick the 30 mixed eggs in one incubator, in the 40 one that holds 40 eggs, and our newest incubator will stick the 6 white pheasant eggs in there, and then we won't know our result for another 3 or 4 weeks. Well, 4 weeks, and it'll be interesting to see what we get. We only paid £2 for the 30 mixed eggs, and I paid £10, which I paid probably a bit over the top for the 6 white pheasant eggs, but I think it was more desperation.
And Nicky wasn't allowed turkeys again.
And yeah, so after that, I noticed there was turkey eggs as well, and I thought, is she going to bid on them? I don't know, but
Should have done.
maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll get some turkey eggs and see what we get.
No. Next time, I'm just going to buy turkeys.
Oh dear. I don't know where she's going to put them.
In with the geese.
In with the geese?
Yeah.
Oh really? I don't know if well, I suppose they will mix, but I don't know. Anyway, right, so that's the update of that. So we're going to collect the eggs, pay for them, and then shoot on back and get up the farm, round the hounds up, and go on up there. Right, welcome to the brooder shed. I'm in brooder number 1. I've got 2 lovely cool ducks on lookout. We're coming into our 3rd heat wave of the year, which is unprecedented. Like we live in England. We're in July. I think it's 4th of July. I'm not sure. Something like that. And yeah, we're coming into our forecast in the 3rd heat wave. The temperature in the brooder shed at the moment is reading at 34 degrees, 33, 34 degrees. So it's quite warm. While we're getting this heat, I am going to leave this door open. Anyway, so I've got the incubators on. So, and this incubator's got a water pump, separate water pump. I'm going to have to put the camera down because I've just had the pipe, so it's been, what's it been doing? There's the old, in there somewhere. There's, right, so yeah, before I get, right, that has got to go in there. Right, so yeah, this incubator's got its own water pump, and it's quite handy actually having its own water pump. I just didn't think there was going to be any advantage, but it is, because you haven't got to take the lid off to fill the water up. You just keep checking the water level on the water pump, and that just pumps water in, and then this bit of like foam material, the water drips on that, and then obviously the heat then creates humidity. So yeah, these are the eggs. So I've got 30 mixed pheasant and light Sussex and wire duck eggs. That whole tray was £2, so that was a bargain. And then I bought these white pheasant hatching eggs. There's 6 in there, and they cost me £10, which I know I paid over the odds, but I went to the auction because it was listed that there were some white pheasants, and that was what I was after. And when we went to the auction, they just wasn't there. Hi, Quacky Duck. Um, they weren't even in the auction, so it was like frustrating because that's the only reason I really went, or one of the reasons. So the next best thing, there was some white pheasant hatching eggs for sale, so I grabbed them. So what I will do now is take the lids off the incubators, take the trays out, lay the eggs in, put them back in, and then write on the calendar what day that was. Let's do it. Right, so there's me white pheasant eggs. Put them in the tray, and now we'll put them in the incubator. Right, so there's the eggs to go into the big incubator. The pheasant eggs are in there, all up to temperature, 37.5. Humidity is high, but that need to program that down. And this one, I'm waiting for the temperature to catch up. Well, 36.4. So yeah, as soon as that reaches 37.5, those ones are going. Happy days. And then I can get out of here because it's bloody hot. And then I'm going to let the geese out for the first time. Right. So at the moment, I've got the pheasant eggs in, got the mixed eggs, incubator still warming up. So, oh dear, it's bloody hot. Right, so I'm reading 35 degrees now. Right, so and in the previous video, I was just having a bit of a banter with about a couple of my dad and one of my friends about they know everything about the countryside, but they don't know anything about technology. Well, Bill Walton's done the next best thing. What he's done, he's used Royal Mail, and he's posted me a magazine. Now, in one of my previous videos, I had a bantam egg, and it hatched out, and the egg was still attached to the chick. It's happened a couple of times, but it's been rare. Anyway, so that had happened, and obviously in the video, I didn't know why it happened. Now, my guess might be, I can't remember if we had a heat wave by then, but that could be one of the factors. Anyway, so Bill sent me this magazine, Shooting Times, and in here there's an article about eggshells sticking to the chicks. And someone had asked a question, and the reply was it's one of three factors. The first factor is too low a temperature during the setting period, which they should be at 37.5. The second is low humidity during hatching, which we set the humidity between 40 and 60%, and then the last 4 days prior to hatching increase the humidity. And thirdly is the rotation of the incubators. If you've got an automatic incubator that rotates, it's got to rotate a minimum of 3 times a day to prevent the shell from hatching. And it quotes in there, automatic machines are good, but they're not always as accurate or as reliable as they should be. Now, so with that in mind, the incubator that I've got in, it's now got the white pheasant eggs in. That is the incubator. That's it. Sits level, Anyway, so it's been on for about 2 hours. Now, when I first switched it on, the rocker was sat in the incubator like this, and in those 2 hours, the incubator has turned back to level, fully this way, and now it's back to level. So when it goes back to that point, that I would say that is like a full rotation. Now, if that's taking 2 hours, 2 hours ish, that means that that will rock 12 times a day, that particular incubator. But my other incubator, I'm not sure. It rocks. It's ever so slow. You stand there. It's like watching paint dry. So once I put those eggs in, is it up to temperature yet? No, not quite. It's reading 37. Once it goes up to temperature, I'll put the eggs in, flick the rotation on, and then come back every hour and see whereabouts it is, and see if it is rocking more than 3 times a day. I'm pretty sure it is. So if they are, the middle incubator, my newer one's got a separate humidity pump, which is absolutely fantastic. And on the screen on top of the incubator, it's got a digital readout of what the humidity is. Whereas the other one is an older style, and it's more luck than judgment. It's providing you've got water in the bottom of the tray, you've got a vent which I shut off or close the vent. Not completely, because you still got to have air going into the incubator, but you shut it off, which increases the humidity. So yeah, so that one's more luck than actually getting a reading. But yeah, I'll keep an eye on the rotate part, and so the next point would be the temperature. Now, I come in here one day, but I'm not sure if there was a heat wave when we had this situation with the chick. I don't think there was. But I come in here one day, and the temperature in the brooding shed was 44 degrees. That has got to play havoc with the temperature on the incubator. It's got to. So, and I did have a batch of eggs that I think 40 eggs, 8 hatched. And when I candled them after switching the machine off, because it was, they just weren't going to hatch then, you could see that there was, I think, 9 of them that hadn't fully formed, but the rest had. And I'm sure that was the temperature, just, I think, killed them or prevented them from hatching, which was really disappointing. But anyway, thank you again for that, Bill. I shall leave it in the brooding shed to read every now and then. Make sure I haven't forgotten. And yeah, there you go. Right, so last year, I don't know if it was caught in any videos, I used to open the gate, let the geese out. The grass in the goose pen is really struggling now because obviously such a dry period. Anyway, so 5 minutes ago I thought I'd let the geese out and see if they come out and start grazing on the grass outside the goose pen. And I've just come out of the brooder shed and there they all are. Straight out they were. I actually did think, because there's obviously loads of goslings, that they were going to stay right next to the gate near the brooder shed, but no, they look like they're on a tour. So good on them. They must be loving it. Because obviously outside the brooder shed, outside the goose pen, there's loads of grass. I have been, of course, there's just so many bloody heat waves. I have been putting a sprinkler on, trying to, I've got to go back in there as well, cut all those dock leaves down. I was going to swear then. But yeah, I've been having a sprinkler going, trying to give some water to the grass that's there. But it's not happening. So I've actually put the dogs in the orchard so they can't interfere. Although last year all of the dogs just ignored the geese, except for Oscar. He'd go over and have a sniff and soon get shouted out by them and started hissing and flapping the wings, and then you just wander off as if nothing happened. But I think because this year, this is the first time I've let them out because of all the goslings, I just thought, I'll keep the dogs in. Yeah, let me get used to it. But what a lovely sight. I love it. Let's zoom in. There you go. Quality. Right. I know I keep going on about it, but this is coming into this third heat wave. So what I've done is got Trevor out, got an IBC, and I'm going to fill it with water. Just run a hose pipe in there. The reason I'm doing this is because my dwarf sunflowers, some of them are just starting to pop through, but we just haven't had no rain. It's been so dry for the last couple of weeks. We had a thunderstorm a week and a half ago. That was quite dramatic. A little bit of rain, but not a lot. So, and apparently next week is going to be all hot and sunny. So I need to get some water in there because they're just starting to show. Otherwise, I think they just die. The ground is so hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill up this IBC, and then I'm going to run along the top of the strip of dwarf sunflowers I've put in, and just crack the tap open and just drive up and down a couple of times and just let the water run across, and hopefully that'll give them a little bit of a drink. But luckily, because we've got our own water up here, we are using it. Got a sprinkler on the go at the moment. That's watering the pumpkins and some other plants that Nicky's put in. I've got to get the rotavator out as well and strimmer. So yeah, let's get this filled up. Right, so I'll move it along. Put it in the sweet corner in a minute. I do need to come into this vegetable plot with my rotavator and strimmer and tidy it up. I'd like to do that today, but let's see how we get on with time. I just feel like I've got just so many bloody jobs to do all the time. But I'll fill this up and then I'll wait till the sun goes down. Tuck those in there. Wait till the sun goes down. At least then the soil will be moist all night, and hopefully the dwarf sunflowers will get a drink. Right, that's running. Make sure the valve's off, which it is. Happy days. Right, got my strimmer out, my rotavator attachment. Thought this is probably going to take me an hour or so in this blazing heat. Just going to do a before and after. Potatoes looking good. I'm going to trim all these thistles down, and then in between the rows, which I can't even see what we've got now, that overtaking happens so quick. I'm going to rotivate. I can just make out my sweet corn, so, but yeah, before and after. So trim the pathway and then just rotivate in between in the rows. As I work my way through, I should start seeing something that's supposed to be there. Obviously that's quite self-explanatory, but bloody thistles. Yeah. Oh well, I'll work my way through it. Oh dear, it's like bloody jungle here. Never mind. Right, so let's get down. Right, I've got the IBC attached to Trevor, and what I'm going to do is open the valve and then water that. So I'm going to run along the edge, along the grass edge, let the water just run across, and water my dwarf sunflowers. Now, you can see right there, just starting to come through, one or two of them. Not many, but this is like a bloody desert. Right, so let's do it. Good morning, you lovely YouTubers. Welcome back to Top Farm, smallholding. Today's Sunday. We camped up here last night. I went ratting, sat on top of the tractor. Didn't see any rats. Positive on that is if there's any rats still in there, which there are, there isn't as many. The negative on it is that there still are rats in there. As since the last time I've been up here shooting, I've lost 2 quail to rats. So I know there's still a rat in there or 2, but the numbers are definitely a lot lower. I will now start baiting those traps, the live traps I've got, and yeah, just keep going, trying to eradicate them. The previous video, one of the clips earlier, I filled up an IBC and had it on Trevor, and I was going to water my game cover with it. That was total waste of time, total flop. Won't be doing that again. So what I did was went round, gathered a couple of hoses, joined them together, and then managed to get down to the game cover, and I managed to water 2/3 of it with a sprinkler on it, and moving the sprinkler every couple of hours. So that had been watered for about 7 hours. So I'm pleased with that. I've now got the sprinkler on to Dig for Victory, watering the potatoes at the moment. So I'll leave that on for a couple of hours. Jobs today. Nicky's gone back down, taking the dogs with her because it is hot. It's too hot. Temperature's supposed to be getting hotter as the week goes on. And yeah, she'll be back up in a bit. I've let the geese out. So the jobs for today are I want to run Big Red around the goose pen again, cut down the dock leaves. Geese are out grazing around. That's brilliant. Then I want to empty the pond. I'll use T-Rex for that. I've got the grading bucket on T-Rex, so I'll empty the pond and then clean it out and put fresh water in there. Then put the sprinklers on in the goose pound to water the little grass that's there. And then if I've got time, I want to use T-Rex. I have to change the bucket, dig a trench and join the 2 electric fences up together. Also got a bigger solar panel to trickle charge the battery that the electric fences run on. I want to install that bigger panel, and yeah, and it's all. I've got a few other little jobs to do, and then I've got the England game, 1 o'clock in the morning against Mexico. I'm on England, so watch that. I'd like to see if I can get some hours, a couple of hours sleep this evening before that, because I've got work Monday. That'll be all fun and games. Also got a string around the electric fence. It just don't stop bloody growing. String around the electric fence, around the chicken compound, and around the goose compound. Even though we killed around the goose compound, but you still get bits of bracken and that growing up, and of course, as soon as it touches the electric fence, that's it. Yeah, so we'll see how we get on. And of course, it's getting warmer as I speak. Yeah, lots of jobs to do, and so little time to do them in. But anyway, yeah, I'll see what I can do. But that's my jobs in order. So the first job, I can't even, no, fuck it. Nicky's got the keys for Big Red, so I can't cut that just yet. Maybe I'll get T-Rex out and then start emptying the pond. Yeah, do that. Yeah, ever so quiet up here. Right, see you in a bit. Right, so I've just been bitten. Oh, you bastard. Right, so the first job of I'm going to go and empty the goose pond. So I've got my grading bucket on T-Rex already. So this shouldn't take too long to empty. So obviously in this grading bucket I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes each end of the grading bucket, so I need to just plug those holes up to fill it up with water. So I've got a bit of insulation foam, got a drill, hole cutter, just going to cut some bits of insulation foam and then poke it into these holes to hold it. So when you're ever operating power tools, always think of safety first. Glasses, that's so I can see what I'm doing. Right, so I've just drilled a plug, push that in. Oh, look at that, perfect. Oh my god, I've invented something. Oh yeah, way to go, Rog. A bramble growing through that bloody hole. There you go, perfect. So there you go, 5 holes block. Just got to do the other side. Easy. Happy days. Right, let's go and empty it. Right, so that's the swing round. Pond's done, and this is a handy bit of kit. Parents brought me that snow shovel. Snow, Dorset, come on! But it's good for cleaning the duck pond out, because the duck pond, after all, is a 10-foot boat, an old beat-up boat that I bought, and that snow shovel comes in really handy without actually damaging the hull of the boat. So that's cool. Right, next job, fill her up. God, it's hot. Right, I'll leave that filling up. Gonna take a few hours and I'll get on to the next job, which is strimming, I think. Oh no, I've got to dig this out, haven't I? I've got to dig that out. That means changing the bucket. Oh well, change the bucket it is. Geese are happy. Everywhere else is quiet, surprisingly. Right, so changing buckets the old-fashioned way. Because my digger is old, I gotta do it. Oh, come on. I gotta do it the old-fashioned way. Knocking pins out. But it's an old digger and I love it. So I'm switching over from a grading bucket, which is that one, to a trenching bucket. Because obviously all I want to do is dig a little trench to run a cable through. That's that pinning. Right, so I never got to use T-Rex and start doing the trench for the electric fence. Nicky turned up and brought the keys up for Big Red, so I ended up going in the goose pen, cutting the whole goose pen. Geese have been out all day, roaming around everywhere, which is good. So I ended up doing that, and then I took Big Red down to the back there where I've planted a load of willows, so I ended up cutting in between the willows, and then God, I went round and I strimmed all the way around the chicken compound and the goose compound. So and I've had the battery on charge all day today, so I've just connected that. It's 5 o'clock and it's bloody hot and I can't be bothered to do any more. I wanted to do the new solar panel, so 20-watt one, 20-watt solar panel, and connect it to the battery, electric fence. The other one I got is a 10-watt, so I shouldn't need to have to charge it all the time. There's the geese. Every time they see me, especially when I'm near the goose pen, they come running over because they want food and I'm just about to feed them. So all right, girls. Yeah, they want food. I'll give it to them. Yeah, checking the incubators for the rotation, and they seem like they're rotating. A full rotation is sort of like 2 hours, so that seems to be good. I'm just getting the food out. I've got all the bits here ready to do the electric fence. I've changed the bucket over, so I might do that one evening this week. But we'll say the ground, we haven't had any rain, the ground's rock hard, but I have only got to do a trench from that post to that post. Only a small trench, and I haven't got to go very deep. I'll go, I don't know, 10 inches or something. It's only a small cable, and the cable I've got is the orange, and then I'll put it inside the black conduit, put it 10 inches into the ground in case I end up doing anything digging. Then I will hit the conduit. Right, I've got the goose food, so they're all just going to come charging behind me. Come on in, girls. Come on. Right. You put you up at the end, and I'll just feed them. All right. Right. I shall move the camera. Yeah. All right, girls. All right. There you go. Let me carry on. You can see the adults were a bit wary. The pond's filled up, or the boat. I filled up with water, and I've still got a sprinkler on the go, trying to give what little grass is here some water. But every time I come up here, I'll let the geese out. Either put the dogs in the compound in the bloody orchard, and yeah, go from there. Right, so that's the end of this weekend. Hasn't been that eventful, really. Obviously excited about picking up the eggs from the auction, and see what happens with them. But that won't be for another 4 weeks. Yeah, and that's the end of that. So if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and all that bollocks. And I'll see you in the next one. Come on, England! Yeah!